Okay, I'm going to show you my exact setup and how I programmed it. I eliminated the other mode plus pinky switch because I can program that in game. I tried to make this as simple as possible, and then if I can use the game to program it, I'll just use the game. So here's what I did with the mode, because in order to enable the toggle wheel at the side to switch between different modes on the joystick, you need to use the Saitek software to program that. So I set up mode 1, 2, and 3, and I have the same controls through all of them except for here on Fire A. This is where I wanted to hit my wingman's target or do an avlock on wingman. So it's just a key on the keyboard. You can rename it to something that makes sense, and then when you click on it, it'll bring up this edit screen where you just press a button and then it adds it for you. So I've done that for mode 2 and 3, and you can see that all it does is override what the previous mode is doing. So going through here, this is mouse fire, mouse wheel button. This is all pretty standard stuff. It's the same as the default, although I just changed the directions on the scroll wheel, but that's totally optional. And then here's the interesting bit. This is where I turn the mouse axes into a mouse joystick. And there's a configuration up here where it asks you what you want the axis to equal. And I can click on this arrow and move it to bands instead of just a directional axis or whatever it had before. Bands is what you want. You can even edit the bands if you'd want to fine tune them, but once you set it to bands, it's basically giving you everything you need. And I didn't even set it to anything different in the various modes. All you do is treat it like any other button on the joystick at this point. So the tough part for me was figuring out what the heck do these bands mean and what does it translate to in the game. So I'm going to give you the inside scoop here. And all you need to do is for the x-axis, that's obviously, like if you want to do the same setup, that'll be your lateral thrust. So 0 to 33%, that'll be Q, which is thrust to the left. Then leave this alone because this is the dead zone. But then 67 to 100%, make that the E button. So that's going to the right. Then for the y-axis, 0 to 33%, you can map that to R, that'll go up. And then 67 to 100%, you make that the F key to thrust down. That will turn your joystick on your Saitek controller from just a mouse axis to an actual second joystick that you can use to control the vertical and lateral thrusters on your ship in game.